Hey, Níix.
Níix.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Jeanne?
I'm hot, man. Cooling down finally.
Oh,
What'd you guys have yesterday? How hot was it?
I don't know. I wasn't here throughout my day. I went over to Waʻa, Oregon,
Oh,
and but it was warm. It was I think it was in the 90s, in Joseph, Oregon too.
oh.
But when we came back and went to La Grande, it was cloudy, overcast, and then it rained a little bit outside of La Grande. And I think it kind of rained. So right now it's a little overcast.
That's so unusual. We had 101. It was 101 in my house. I have no air conditioning. I about died.
Oh my God. Well, I'm glad you're surviving.
Yeah. We have 101 old house and it's 101 inside. It's a killer.
Ah.
But we lived. It's cloudy here and cool. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. Well, I want to just thank you. I hear you did a beautiful celebration of my Uncle JC. I want to thank you for that. I heard it was really.
That was a very honorable time.
Yes. And Vicky said she really appreciated all the longhouse. She really appreciated that. So thank you.
Who was that, Vicky?
Yeah, my cousin Vicky Johnson.
Oh.
She was married to Mark Alexander.
Yeah, I used to call her that, Vicky Alexander, and boy, she kind of got after me.
He's still a good man. So he'll always be part of our family. He'll always be part of our family. He's a good guy. We keep those old farts around. So, yeah. So good to see you.
Yeah.
We're having class all summer, right?
Yeah, it's gonna continue to go on to the summer, and we'll see how, once the school year starts, how I'll be able to fit it into the schedule. Because I'll also be starting classes with the middle school in Pendleton here, the Sunridge.
Oh man!
And it's not a required class, but it's going to be an elective class.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of nice, because one of the young boys that he heard about it, and he told his mom that he was excited for it.
Oh yes.
So that's I did mention that as long as we have as long as they're enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So
the nice thing about middle school, they're not afraid of language still, so it's a really good age to start it. Yeah, they're not making fun of each other too much yet. Yeah.
So we'll, like I said, we'll give them all that they can absorb.
Yeah. And do it in a lot of different ways. I used to I taught Spanish. I retired as department head of foreign languages here in Seattle for Spanish. I taught first and third year, and I loved all the kids coming in from middle school because they did it really creatively. They did lots of fun things to do to make up the words, and thought, boy, I wish I could have that much fun with language, because then it locks it in a nice way before they go to high school. Yeah. So I'm really glad to hear you guys are doing that. Really glad. Yeah. And
looking forward to however many that will be in there. Because at one time, before we had Niʻeʻiāui Community School, our education director had me going down to the the middle school, the Sunridge Middle School. Oh, I'm not sure if it was like, I'm not sure if it was every other day or whatever, but I alternated my times to go there. And some of the Indian kids that were supposed to be in my class were skipping.
Oh.
But the non-Indian kids, and they were all girls, they attended regularly. And so so when I think those boys finally got kind of like caught and, you know, were told to have to be in the language class, and by the time they got into class, and then so I purposely had all the class introduce themselves in the language.
Wow.
And how old they were.
Wow.
So they would say their name, because Inashwanisha and Nishwa, and then they would say their age. And here all those girls did it real well. And then when it was the boys' turn, and they were the Indian boys, they didn't have a clue.
But they had future girlfriends, you know. Yeah, I used to tell my Latino boys, if you guys can dance, you're gonna dance out of the room with about 100 girls. If you keep up those skills, man, just keep dancing.
Yeah.
I tell the Indian boys that too. Keep dancing because you'll have a lot of girls following you. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful though.
Yeah. So Jonathan, go ahead and bring up the board, and then maybe we'll kind of just start out with the time of the months that we're in now.
Yeah.
The months that we're in now. máašit. Yeah, and today's my wife's birthday too. And the time of the year that we're in, šátɨm. Naku Páyu ʷayx. And it's very hot. Mish.
Joey ʷayx. Inash ksatwisha.
Oh, I guess you know, the things that we have to alternate around, you know, a lot of times is this what they call the air conditioning, and I guess we would probably we could call it pɨswit or haašwitpamá. haašwitpamá. So that would probably be, you know, the air conditioning, you know, like to make the air cold. This is cold. And then that haašwit is like, it's like breath, but at the same time, it's like the air. So that would be my way of saying air conditioner. And then, you know, and all the time, and all the time, you know, everybody, I remember I put this on a language recording for our what do you call it, radio program, you know, and I just said, you know, to drink, you know, you're to drink lots of water, you know, you're to drink lots of water. And so when the way I said that was čúušnam čúuta. And here, one of my elder ladies, who's a Nespers woman, because she would hear it so much that, and then one day she approached me and just walked right up to me and just told me, she goes, čúušnam čúuta. You know, čúušnam čúuta. So sluck is a word by itself. Yeah, then, yeah, čúušnam čúuta. You drink lots of water. You're to drink lots of water. So again, this month of July, being that it's July 1st, máašit. And then the summer is known as šátɨm. And then to say it's very hot, Páyu. And then pɨswit. Sometimes pɨswit would even be a freezer, but then the air conditioner haašwitpamá. So again, that's air conditioner, and then pɨs means cold, and then haašwit as the breath, and then čúušnam čúuta. So drink lots of water. Let's see how we doing here. Talk to Jeanne. So how you guys doing up there in this spilam? Mishpamwakna spilampa.
Moi? We're doing all right. They kicked us out of our government building for the week, so we're all at home, still doing all our classes. So thought we'd still log on and still take on classes while we're at home.
Hey.
So we're doing all right. It's in the 80s today. We're not roasting. So
Yeah.
Nishmwa.
Nama
Right?
Níix. Čáwna ʷayx ámčnipa. We're not hot outside. Waʻáax nawat. So like when we say Waʻáax, now we're inside where it's cool, I guess you could say. Waʻáax. Because I know when I used to listen to my grandmother talk and say Waʻáax íišpa, you know, when they would sit where it's cool in the shade. Waʻáax íišpa. Yeah, so that's one way to say cool in the shade. Íišpa. Íiš. So I think there's the ejective K. Yeah, Waʻáax íišpa. Cool in the shade. Yeah, we're good. La casa, is it la casa yuchat? La casa? How you say that?
La casa yochot, la kit. Yochot.
La casa yuchot, la kip.
E.
What does that translate to?
Touches lightning.
Commish. So how is it where you're at?
I'm in Portland. It's good. It's a gray sky today. So, our main AC went out in the house. So, it's been fine though. I spent the last Thursday to Sunday down in Mukluk territory down in Klamath doing a dugout canoe, and it was pretty hot down there in the 90s for 3 days, and we're running fire on those canoes too. So it was hot then, but it's cooling down here in Portland.
Jonathan, what's that word that we have for like cloudy or overcast? Is that or clearing up or whatever? Huh?
Oh, for clearing up,
Oh,
I๋aykáatša.
okay. I๋aykáatša. Is it I๋aykáatša? I๋aykáatša.
I thought it was I๋aykáatša, but
I๋aykáatša, like, yeah, I๋aykáatša.
okay.
I๋aykáatša. So not I caught you. I๋aykáatša. I๋aykáatša. It's clearing up. Hey, Trina. Níix. Maitski. Trina Sherwood, Mishnah. Can you hear me okay? Huh? Joe Kawa. Renee Mishnah. Renee Cobsons.
Hello. How's it going over there?
Good. Níix nawa. Níix nashwa. Níix nashwa. I'm good.
Are you doing something on the 4th of July? I read it in the newspaper about the horses.
Yeah, lighting fireworks. What do you think?
Oh, you're not.
Iwáta súnk nikt. Iwáta súnk nikt. Súnk nikt. Úsiki. And it's going to be a memorial horse parade. Waʻuyitipa. Waʻuyitipa. On Saturday. Nawataš. Nawataš. Yeah, it's a up pop ejective P too. Nawataš. And the kúma Anakuma chow pawachna čikúuk. Nawataš anakuma chow pawachna čikúuk. So this will be to remembering those that are not here today. So that's what's going to happen this Saturday at the Longhouse. One day memorial horse parade, and then there's going to be an Iwáta nipa. 2 A's on Qualk at the Longhouse. It'll be war dance. There's going to be war dance at the Longhouse.
So you're doing this all for my birthday. My birthday is the 4th of July, huh?
No, it's we're celebrating my wife's birthday.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. There you go.
No. Well, sure. Well, it's on the 3rd. It's on the 3rd of Saturday.
Oh, this is the 3rd. Okay, never mind. Now my birthday. Okay, the 3rd. Yikes.
Well, we'll still
Okay.
celebrate your birthday. So that's what's going to happen. So again, súnk nikt is parade. And then kusi is the horse. And then wáʻuyit is the Saturday. So that's parade horse Saturday. Súnk nikt kusi wáʻuyit. So that's Iwáta. And Iwáta is it will be. Iwáta súnk nikt. Úsiki. So when we add that ki on there, then that means with the horse. Úsiki. Many of my grandmothers, or our grandmothers, Mildred and I, our grandmother, a lot of her stories was always about with horses, wherever she traveled, everything. When they went to Yakima, it took them several days, even with the wagon. She'd talk kusiki, and they could kusiki sim. Everything was with horses. How they would just go around, be on horses. And I think the ones that have really been big and prominent in horse parades, not only here, but seem like we see a lot of old pictures of when, who was that photographer? Not sure if it was Morehouse.
Curtis?
Might have been, yeah, up in Nespelem. When there's a lot of pictures. I have a book that I kind of accidentally kept. Nishnama. Oh, Mishnama Mishja.
Nothing now, I gotta go get you.
Oh, Commish.
And then Páyu and Merle are going down to the river for the day, and then just When Wednesday, the dropping him off, so I could go stay with his auntie down there for a few days.
Oh, commission.
And just got what you were going to see a movie today.
Si Iwáta, si Níix,
Shouldn't
sinu sama, or subsequent sama.
Oh,
Means chow subsequent sama, iti tama sama.
oh, na siya tapos siya, pagkusta siya pa siya. Wait, Tananmark na. What did it say, Canada?
Kanata.
Or class woman, Tananmark na pa school siya na. Wait, Waa'áax na United States to Canada.
Oh, Tamashwik and Tanamnawa.
I'm just got my orange dress on today in memory of our they're elders now, all of our elders that had passed away in Canada and in the United States in the residential schools and missionaries, whatever. Okay, awesome.
Hey. Yeah. Čikúuk amyawit meets queen kupais na unat the man quite yaw nishana kunat the hamley spice. We napped it unwitched out.
Yes. So me and her, oh, okay. All right.
I was just telling sharing with Mildred, my sister, that my wife's birthday today, and that she's we napped it unwitch čikúuk. So who can tell me how much that is? Oh,
Is that 70?
And she said she doesn't feel that old, and she feels real great, and and sometimes she doesn't really look her age either, and but she's doing real great. That's my wife. She has the name that her mother had, and her name is Amyawit. Iwanisha Amyawit. Yeah. Was that you? Is that you, Leslie?
Just me and Jewy here. We're at home. They gave everybody admin leave because of the heat. So we're just at home.
Yeah. Was up at Waʻáax yesterday, and I was sharing how to make drums with these little 4th grade Siapo kids and their teachers. And then we sat them down on the big drum after they finished their drumsticks, and was teaching them how we drum. And it was something because, I was teaching them just so they wouldn't get out of rhythm, like how the old timers used to start out their songs, hitting on the edge with that tap with just the stick. And it was just after, wasn't that much time to be able to be on the drum with them because they had to head back to their school. But I went ahead and sang, I had them just hold their stick on the drum without drumming. And I was telling them, so sometimes some of our songs, they just sing without hitting the drum. They would just sing and I started singing that pipe song, the Nesper's pipe song, and being in that interpretive center, and somehow I almost caught myself getting emotional because of the how moving that song was, and imagine how it must have Bend, you know, when the Nez Perce delegation, you know, arrived there at Walla Walla, you know, during the treaty time. And, you know, you know, that song still being sung today. But I got to go to the Josephi Center and see the Nez Perce, what is it, the treaty? Oh, the treaty. So we got to see that, and what's his name? Rich Wanschneider. Is that his name? Rich Wanschneider. Got him talking, and it's hard to make him be quiet. You guys probably know him, huh? Dewey, did you go up there and see that yet?
Yeah, I've been there.
Dewey? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's kind of small, but nice to have something there.
Yeah. Yeah, I went upstairs, and Josephi's library itself, you know, it's really extensive. So if anybody get a chance, anybody get a chance to go up there and just spend the day there. It was kind of warm there because I think they didn't really have too much AC. But it's pretty nice that they got that place. I know because a year or two ago that they had the actual dedication of that place. So I'm glad that they have that there. Anything for the, you know, just to be able to teach the general public about, you know, who, you know, Nez Perce, you know, people are, and all the different bands. You know, there are just so many different bands of our people that, you know, resided all over. You know, all over.
Yeah.
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 So I felt pretty good trying to teach Rich Wanschneider how to say just the word for lake, you know, because I know that we say watum over here this way, or Yakima, whatever, but, and I think in Nez Perce it's watum.
Iwáta.
Iwatum. Yeah, Iwatum.
Iwáta.
Yeah, so
It's
it's yeah. So yeah, there you go. Iwat. Is it with a stressed I?
Iwáta. They're both E's.
Mish?
IWE.
IWE.
Iwáta.
Oh,
So that first letter is with the E too? Or the I? Iwatum? Yeah.
No, that's I. The I.
Okay. Iwatum. That's lake. Then not sure if there was both ends of the lake were named too. No, so I was trying to explain that, you know, just the pronunciations to Rich. So I was really, says you have to have that in there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I know when I was teaching those
Yeah,
kids.
that Rich wants me to go down. He wants me to go down there and do some kind of talk on the treaties or agreements, and he probably already has everything I have. So he heard somebody told him that I have some stuff, but I don't think I have anything any different than what he has probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think it's good because of the pictures that are posted there too, and Joseph Looking Glass, or is it Looking Glass? And Chief Timothy and Chief Lawyer. I can't remember some other ones that were there too. You
What
know,
does a lawyer look like? I always wondered. What does he look like? The lawyer man, the guy named Lawyer.
I'm
Oh,
not.
you
I
mean
think.
liar?
What? What'd he say? Never mind.
Yeah, I know there's a lot that can be said about, what their participation, right, in the, in those treaty times. Because, I know that I think that's kind of what Rich is really trying to get out of, like you're saying, he's trying to, like maybe have you come up and share probably what's not necessarily documented on paper, just from maybe oral stories and stuff. And I think sometimes some of our stories, I think they kind of just, to me, sometimes I think they just really just belong with the people themselves, and the families or whatever. And then sometimes it's not always necessary to have to document every story in detail, because, we can't unchange what has happened. Chautai Shapatun Huitash, Chautai Shapatun Huitash, no way to change things. Yeah, Chautai Shapatun Huitash. No way to change things. So I think that Chautai would be together, just to stress on the latter A. Yeah, Chautai, no way to change things. Chautai Shapatun Huitash. No way. And let's see who else we got on here. Hey, Belinda. Mishnah moi. Did I miss a meeting with you yesterday or day before? Okay. Commish. So that's all coming together. Commish. Any questions?
I can't think of any right now.
Okay. Commish Níix Kinut. Good to see you. Mercedes, Mishnah moi. Oh. Nana moi. Tupnich. Tupnich pa na moi.
Čikúuk.
Eh. Waʻáax pa na šwáchna in witpama. I'm in a cool place. Kumishi wa mishi misha You mean winch, Leon? Mishikutkutcha.
íʻaykáatša, ámčnipa, grinderpa.
Oh,
Páyu lachla.
construction? Oh, Nishakinuna Tapush Timashpa Iwa Chow Shashikwaja Chawa Luke Shla. I guess that's what we would call a flagger, Chawa Luke Shla. Is that what he does? Yeah, so Chawa Luke Shla. Yeah, flagger. Yeah, I saw that. So gosh, I don't envy him. Go quite awa to mean kut. Gumish.
Páyu chmukli.
Páyu chmak. Yeah, chmak with the two A's on there. Chmak, very dark. Yeah, you Páyu chmak, very dark. Hey, chawiyat luni, almost burnt. I used to work at a landfill and be outside this time of the year, and they wouldn't, they would just allow us to wear helmets and shades or whatever, and we'd be outside. And so, can't remember that it was when I took I was standing there or something, can't remember, I had on just my where I wasn't ever tanned, and the rest of me, like my face is the only part that was actually black, and so it looked like I had a Fred Hill mask. And here my family just got a big charge out of that. They just thought that it was so funny because it looked like you have a Fred Hill mask on. It was just all burned up. Luni. So luni is like burnt. Yeah. Yeah. Kumish Alan Mishnama Alan Wachman.
Alnashwa Čáwnashwa Čáwnich.
You're not good?
Čáwnashwa Čáwnich.
You're not good?
Yoku Chushisha Tayaisti Iʻaykáatša hospital pa ámčnipa.
Oh, namwa knap namwa ámčni witpama.
Witpama.
Oh, Mishnam Páyu.
Ciao. Paish is it in me Atra? My father
Natutas.
Kudisha Natutas Iʻaykáatša Kudisha Waʻáax me therapy.
Oh.
Waʻáax
Inaknuishat Panmin Waʻáax. So he's taking care of his body with therapy.
I
Imin
Čikúuk.
natutas.
In me natutus Iʻau namwa Iʻau nawa pina naknuisha wellness.
Okay. So your dad is taking care of himself. Pawá at the hospital. Gumish nikt.
Iʻaykáatša nashwa ashapnit qualk neat nish mishiwa qualk.
Walke walang.
Okay.
Neat.
Cottonum qualk neat.
Tottenham mainly implies tall, but I think it can be like tallish. So either way, that the longhouse, it can be referred to as Tottenham, but I grew up with qualk neat, just for long house. But qualk, is for long. Either
And
way.
what is short? What is short?
Iʻaywa.
Iʻaywa neat.
Iʻaywa.
Iʻaywa neat. Qualk neat.
Yeah, short house or long house.
Yeah.
Níix and the kuna mashapni. And the quiet Iwan and the kushmani nawatash mishtun. So it's good that you're asking about how we say things. And the kukwik, the shwan tamatash and the mani nawatash. So just trying to tell you straight how we say things. Kumish and the kuna niich na pchita and the kuimi na tutas Iwáta niich shpa niichui. So we'll have good thoughts toward your father to get well, to get good, in other words, Iwáta na knui. So it'll be taken care of. Trina, Mishnah Makna, Mishnah Mike Shash. Trina Sherwood. Trina. Let's go ahead and go to the top there, Jonathan, and do a little review of everything. I know it's a lot that we've said. So, Jonathan, I'll go ahead and have you just go ahead and share these how we've said this. Go ahead and recite what these words are.
máašit šátɨm anaku Páyu lahuech Iwáta pɨswit áwas umish pis haašwitpamá pis haašwit lak čúušnam čúuta.
Go ahead.
Oh, did you not hear me? I did them all.
Oh yeah, just Thomas Morningal came in, and
Do it again.
so as further down, let's go down. Was it next page or next down the list a little there?
Mish Níix nashwa Čáwna lahuech ámčnipa Waʻáax ba Iwáta ku Waʻáax íišpa iwa Iʻaykáatša Níix na wáʻa umish Níix na shwa. Keep going to the next page. Iwáta súnk nikt úsiki wáʻuyitipa.
Waʻuyitipa.
Waʻuyitipa. Tipa. Nawataš kúma pawá čikúuk.
Kúma.
Kúma. I said kúma. Kúma. Nawataš kúma pawá čikúuk. Iwáta pach mit nipa. And then Jeanne siwa ŵynaptit anwich čikúuk. Iwanisha yawit. Watam umish Iwátan. Čáwtai šapatun huitash. Tai is why. Čáwna iwa Páyu chimak kuchawiyat luni. Mishnam payuisha witpama katnam kwalk kaiwa.
Nichtnam iti taman na maini na timacha sinwitna. So good that you're able to read how we write the language. So Jonathan, and the kapani tkaksha and the ko itiskin simna sinwitsta and the kush kwimatna. And this is what Jonathan, even as a new language learner with us, that this is something that he's after, is that you know, that we just kind of start conversing in the language, because we're listening right now. He's been doing some work with me here in cleaning up some of the old recordings that you had shared with me, Jewy. You know, when Cleveland Kamayakin is talking about the Coyote Sweat House up there by Soap Lake. And even for me, it's been, you know, learning in a way that how he talks about that. Different ways that he says, like even like the sweat house, like we, you know, grew up here as the haašwitpamá. And then the way that he uses it, and then I heard one elder lady years ago, huyuk, and you know, pretty much implies the same thing, you know, huyuk to, you know, sweat house. And, it's you know, interesting how that interview goes and that discussion. And so one of these times, maybe hope to bring Jonathan up there and just take a ride up there for when it cools off a little bit. Is that Jewy, is that place accessible to look at that place? That sweat house?
Yeah, it's just south of
Soap Lake?
Yeah, south of Soap Lake. There's an overpass, a railroad overpass, then there's like a little pond. And it's just north, on the northeast side of that pond. There used to be a road down to it, but they blocked it off. But yeah, it's accessible.
So
you can see it right from the road.
Okay. Yeah. So you can just kind of walk by it or up to it, or or is it fenced off? Or?
Yeah, now you have to walk to it. It's kind of a ways from the main road.
Okay. Yeah, we're you know, like I said, some of these places we kind of want to check them out, and you know, just because they still exist, a lot of these places that still exist, and then you know, just to kind of connect the story with the place. That's pretty good. That you know, that we appreciate you sharing those recordings. You know, we're limited on what we have for any reference.
Did you guys transcribe those?
We didn't transcribe them. It'd you know, it'd be something to do, at least, you know, tidbits of it. It would be good, you know, because it's kind of fairly audible, and I know the one that I've wanted to transcribe was Sam Sturgis's right, you know, what things that he says, because a lot of his language is understandable too. And I don't know if Bruce Rigsby ever did that, because I think he did some of the Numpkins, Georgian Numpkins. I think he may have, but that Sam Sturgis, I think, would be, you know, his language is fairly, it's, you know, 21 minutes, all right, but some of his language, it's in a really profound Walla Walla.
I want to listen to George Numpkin. That's my grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I'm connected to all the places down there.
Yeah.
That's my relations to the lands down that way. It's my grandpa, my dad.
Mm.
That'd be nice to listen to, though.
Yeah, I even his language, when they said that he was going to talk in the Palouse language, and I thought, oh, I got to hear this. And then when Joey started playing that, to listen to it, and oh, I've been listening to this all along through, you know, through like the ones that are like Wakatsi's, Elizabeth Smitty Jones. She was a Wakatsi, and she was always visiting with my grandmother and speaking that language, Palouse. And so I was able to, you know, listen to understand, you know, some of his language, you know, and my wife and I, we travel, and I'll put that, because it's on my phone, and we'll listen to them, and it just, you know, touches us sometimes, and we'll it just kind of jogs our memory of, you know, the ones that we were raised around, you know, how that they talked. So that's all good. Níix, kúma, čikúuk, panmin sinuit pawá áwas. You know, how their language is placed within, you know, the recorders. When we say that shapawachak, you know, it's like, you know, it's like the words are stuck, you know, in that, you know, shapawachak áwas, the recorders. That's how. But I think our old people, they called it one pawás. One pawás is those radios and recording stuff. But I want to go ahead and leave it open for any more questions. If anybody has any questions or comments. And again, this is accessible whenever Jonathan will place it on the YouTube site.
I don't know. So the notes I'll send out via email, hopefully later today.
Oh, okay, Commissioner. And the kushtaman on the swan, Hamash, and the ku nas kwasanawan, Hamadash, and the kupam baishin kikincha chanachi subsequent yao. So I'm just appreciating you guys all again, that when you guys, appear on the way that we're teaching the language through this Zoom, my kutu now it pa. When I say that, my kutu now it is like saying, real fast. In other words, Zoom. My kutu now it. Look up.
When you were talking about the memorial earlier, how would you say, like, today we remember those who are no longer with us?
Na abchnawa sha. Na abchnawa. Abchnawet is to remember. Abchnawet, like even the word by abcht, by itself, to remember. Even that, I think I've heard Sapsikan use that word, anachanachi abchtna. This what we're doing, this remembrance. Na abchsha. Na abchsha. Kúma. Them that aren't here. Chálpawachna čikúuk. Na abchsha. Na abchsha. Kúma. Na chálpawachna čikúuk. We're remembering them that are no longer here today.
So Fred, earlier you said Anna Kúma with Anna before Kúma. Does that make a difference? You said
it's just probably my way of using that at the moment of how I said it. Na abchsha kúma ana chálpawachna čikúuk. So yeah, however it comes out, but that's how it comes out this time.
sounds
Does that answer your question, Mercedes?
Tomorrow they're having a memorial for Yawanpum Irene Cloud at Waʻa Longhouse. So just she was one of the
yeah, our elder from here is going to go over there. So yeah, okay. I didn't know who for. I didn't know who they were doing anything for. So good to know that. In the Schauenstein, me I at Nikapashpan, maybe I'll tell my wife because maybe she'll want to go too. Kumish, Níix, quite Daimut. Okay. Well, if there's not any more lesson or questions, go ahead, Jonathan.
When we were listening to the recording before, you pointed out he had a different way of saying like road or way to travel. Chawi is chit.
What was that word? We'll have to listen to it again and just kind of come back to that.
I know it had Waʻa at the beginning.
Waʻanint. Yeah. Waʻanint is is to travel. And so, yeah. Oh, Iwa, Iʻaykáatša, Iʻaykáatša. Just take the Iwa off of there. So now it's noon, and so when at the man at the show, I'm gonna go eat someplace. So now shamat the shanch and the kupampaish and kika chiao. So again, appreciate you guys all appearing again. So Níix met the shwata squee. So you guys all have a good rest of your day. Nah.
Touch the hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quatla, quatla.
Watla katla.
Hey, ciao.